Morning. I'm very pleased here as the Mayor of Oakland to welcome my colleagues from around the East Bay, from Contra Costa, from Alameda County, to talk today about redevelopment. So I'm going to introduce us all and have you each raise your hands before we get started. First of all, I want to start with my colleague, the President of the Oakland City Council, Larry Breed. Thank you. Lena Tam, Council Member of Alameda. Marshall Kamena, the Mayor of Livermore. I'm sorry, who is it? He's running late, okay. Jim Frazier, the Mayor of Oakley. Thank you. Nora Davis, the Mayor of Emeryville. And we have some Emeryville City Council members too. Right? Yes, no? No? Okay. I'm wrong. I thought I saw one. Janet Abelson, the City of El Cerrito. Thank you. Anu Antarajan, did I say that right, Anu? I'm sorry. A member of the City Council of Fremont. Marvin Piaxel, City Council member from Hayward. Jack Weir, City Council member from Pleasant Hill. Now there's more of you here, so actually there's members of the Chambers of Commerce from many cities. Would you raise your hands? There's also some housing, affordable housing advocates. And I'm going to introduce the front row, separate Lynette Lee here and others. Okay, so there's a group right here in this row. We're each going to give very short presentations, and then we're going to take questions. Any of us will take questions. So first of all, as you know, the Governor of California has proposed the total elimination of the redevelopment district, and many of us in different forms, the League of Cities, the Big Ten mayors, individually through our representatives, have been telling the state legislature that would stop growth, and the way I've been most simply saying it, it may be penny wise but pound foolish, that people underestimate the power of developments. And so we're here today in Oakland because this is probably one of the biggest symbols of redevelopment under Mayor Jerry Brown. What you have here to your right is the Fox Theater. The Fox Theater, and wrapped around the Fox Theater is a school. And behind the Fox Theater is some of the nicest affordable housing in downtown Oakland. To your left here is Forest City. Those are rental units, part of the 10K program. And here in the middle of this park, there's going to be an amazing new art exhibit and statue that will be a landmark in the city. If you saw this, and it looks nice enough now, if you had been here about 12 years ago, you would have seen mostly deserted buildings, empty lots, buildings that were badly damaged from the Loma Prieta earthquake and that were unusable. The Fox Theater had been closed for nearly 4 decades. It was decaying. It took actually redevelopment funds and intervention just to save it from molding and totally being destroyed. Today, it's an icon of Art Deco theaters and one of the best preserved in the country. Behind us is amazing affordable housing, which is part of the offset here, Oakland's long-term commitment to have at least 25% affordable housing in all of our new developments to balance off the impacts of gentrification. And on a Friday night, you would see, in particular when the weather's good, you would see anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 people walking along this corridor in our Art Murmur on the first Friday. So this has been amazing. The floors at the end of the street is a Zagat-rated restaurant. If you look up and down, there are nightclubs. It has totally revitalized this part of what we call Uptown, and it's made a huge difference. And again, about a decade ago, you would have mostly seen empty buildings that were so poor, so badly damaged from Loma Prieta that without assistance and without help, we couldn't restore those buildings and save them. As a result of it, the tax increment, as the tax generated from this area, is ahead of schedule on redevelopment. It is taxes that the state will now have in the future, and that what I basically say is something of something is something, but all of nothing is nothing. And if we don't have redevelopment, we're not going to be able to redevelop these areas. And so we've done more details in this handout on the Oakland redevelopment scene with our zones and the Keystone projects, affordable housing, our transit-oriented districts, and many other projects that have meant a world of difference for our neighborhoods. So with that, I'm going to thank you for coming to Oakland and turn it over to a series of of mayors and of housing and labor and development people so that you can see the full spectrum. The person I'm going to introduce next is Mark Green, a good friend of mine, current president of ABAG, the Association of Bay Area Governments, and the mayor of Union City.
Thanks, Gene. It's always great to be in Oakland, sort of my second home for redevelopment and other matters for that matter. Larry just had to throw the Laker plug in there. When Gene mentioned 2,000 to 5,000 people up here, it's actually at the 5,000 level when the Lakers are in town. It's 2,000 when the Pacers are through or something like that. Redevelopment isn't just for big cities such as Oakland or San Francisco or San Jose, but cities such as mine, Union City, are also a key player in the redevelopment agency area. We've had hundreds of homes built in Union City during the course of our redevelopment agency, affordable units next to BART. We've been assisting in removing blight in some of our oldest neighborhoods in the city. And to say that these things would not have happened or would have happened without redevelopment in our case is absolutely crazy. We've had sites in Union City that have been contaminated with PCBs. We've had slag sites,